This episode of Derapy is brought to you by Patreon.
I figured before we get into fall off season, we would revisit what is widely considered to be J. Cole's best work to date, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. J. Cole begins this album repeating the question, do you wanna be? Over and over, do you wanna be free? Do you wanna be? Do you wanna be happy? Do you wanna be Derapy? Happy. And while the line of questioning is repetitive, over time, our score rises more and more, the production grows brighter and brighter, and after around a minute of reflection, eventually we reach a verse where J. Cole describes in detail, in spoken word-like fashion, what freedom sounds like, what happiness sounds like. Happy. I said, do you wanna be free from pain, free from scars, free to sing, free from bars, free my dogs, you're free to go. Black is hot, the streets is cold, free to love, to each his own, free from bills, free from pills. You wrote aloud, the speakers blow. Life get hard, you ease your soul and clench your mind. Learn to fly and reach the stars. You take the time to look behind and say, look where I came, look how far I done came. They say that dreams come true, and when they do that, there's a beautiful thing. I think the composition of this track is absolutely beautiful. The lone verse describing what Cole sees as freedom is concise and easy to digest. Free from pain, free from scars, free from bills, free from pills. Block is hot, streets is cold, free to love, to each his own. It's difficult not to root for. It's pretty standard stuff. Staying out of jail and making your dreams come true actually does sound like a beautiful thing. I think the singing is acceptable, the piano is gorgeous, the concept is clear, a great start, and openers don't really require a rating, but if I had to, I would give it, honestly, like a light 9.
9.
It also transitions really well into our first full track, J. Cole's birthday, January 28th.
Yeah. Look, the real is back, the Ville is back. Flow bananas here, peel this back, and what you'll find is your highness could paint a picture that's vivid enough to cure blindness. Carolina's finest.
That high-pitched bit at the beginning says, can I make $1 million off a rap tune? Which is repeated twice before stating, I'm trying to make $1 million off a rap tune. Then the verse starts with Cole saying, yeah, look, as if he's literally starting the first rap verse of the first full track on the album with, this is how I'm going to make $1 million off a rap tune. Yeah, look. I think it's a great way to start the track. Glazing already. We get the iconic, the real is back, the Ville is back, Flow Bananas here, peel this back. We're starting from the beginning. In 2014, J. Cole went and bought his childhood home. So the Ville, like Fayetteville where he grew up, is in fact back. He's back home. And if you'd never heard J. Cole before this album, I think this first set of bars is actually a great introduction to him. What you'll find is your highness can paint a picture vivid enough to cure blindness, Carolina's finest. We are rapping instantly.
Carolina's finest, you knew that already. In terms of the greatest, I proved that already. And if you would like, I do it twice. I just sharpened my blade. For a minute became lost in my ways. This for my niggas that was tossed in the grave. Every so often I fade deep in my thoughts and then get lost in the days we used to play before your coffin was made. Just got the call, nigga got caught with a straight. Hope he's okay. Just got paid what Cochran got paid. The free OJ, just to share my life on the stage in front of strangers who know a nigga far too well. And that's the danger. Know me better than I know myself. I rip a page out my notebook in anger and let these thoughts linger singing. Don't give them too much you.
I love the way this verse transitions into the hook. It almost feels like a continuation of the verse in a way. J. Cole comes into the album saying in terms of the greatest, he's proved it already. But if you would like, he'll do it twice.
Dos.
That's what you're hearing right now. Whoa. J. Cole foreshadows some of the album's themes, saying, I just sharpened my blade, perfecting his craft. For a minute became lost in my ways. J. Cole, when touring this album, actually had 3 acts called Hometown, The Journey, and Hollywood. So expect more of this narrative to come. J. Cole refocuses by saying, this is for those who were tossed in the grave, and has a slick few lines about getting lost in the days, or days, lost in the days, or lost in the days. You get it, it's rap. Works both ways. We used to play before your coffin was made, so he's talking about somebody that he lost. On the flip side, Cole says he's paid handsomely now to share his life on stage to strangers, and he feels fans know him too well, and that's the danger. It bothers him at times how much he shares because he's been so vulnerable in the rhymes, but still hasn't figured himself out. The storytelling and rhymes are solid in this verse to me. It all sounds like it's coming very naturally, and we're going to listen to this hook one time because it's arguably my favorite hook on the album and a good example of J. Cole singing well leading into the production.
Don't let them take control. Don't let them take control. It's one thing you do. Don't let them take your soul. If you believe in God, one thing's for sure. If you ain't aim too high, then you aim too low. You aim too low.
Enough of that.
Sorry. Yeah, probably my favorite hook on the album. Really well done, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the second verse. It comes out swinging immediately and just does not stop.
You ain't too low. What's the price for a black man life? I check the toe tag, not 1 0 in sight. I turn the TV on, not one hero in sight. Unless he dribble or he fiddle with mics. Look out the window, cause tonight the city lit up with lights, cameras, and action. May no man alive come through and damage my faction. I brought you niggas with me cause I love you like my brothers, and your mothers like my mother. Think we need a plan of action.
What's the price for a black man life is such a powerful way to start a verse. I love the rhymes, 0 in sight, hero in sight, fiddle with mics, lit up the lights, and starting the next bar with cameras action. Not only does it finish the saying lights, camera, action, it also gives way to the end of the next bar's rhyme with faction. Also, J. Cole saying he checks the TV and sees no black heroes besides actors and ball players, which kind of foreshadows no role models, which we'll talk about way later. Not only are the rhymes tight, but J. Cole talks about forming a coalition to do something about violence against black people, trying to build bridges, and create an action plan instead of being divided. Very, very good start to this verse.
Think we need a plan of action. The bigger we get, the more likely egos collide. It's just physics. Please, let's put our egos aside. You my niggas, and should our worst tendencies turn us into enemies? I hope that we remember these nights full of Hennessy. When Hove around, we switch up to that Douce. Gotta show respect one day, we tryna stay where you stay. Cause we from where you from. Not talking about the slums, I'm talking about that mind state to keep a black nigga dumb. Keep a black nigga dying by a black nigga gun. And keep him listening to these frontin' ass rap niggas, son. Yeah, I said son, this is New York's finest. For 11 winters straight, I took on New York's climate. Like show me New York's ladder, I climb it and set the bar so high that you gotta get Obama to force the Air Force to find it. Never mind it, you'll never reach that. Cole is the hypnotist, control the game whenever he snap. That's every track, nigga.
Never mind it, you'll never reach that. Cole is the hypnotist, control the game whenever he snap. That's every track.
Neighbor?
I think this is a great example of J. Cole showing that he's pondering how to make the world a better place, but then like easily slipping back into distractions. He waxes poetic about physics and not letting egos collide. We gotta put Egos? I was about to say egos.
You are like Papa!
Not egos. Egos. Put our egos aside, but then he's talking about like nights full of Hennessy and switching to the Dulce when Hove is around, and then we switch back to talking about escaping a poor mindset, you know? And then we devolve back into some fun wordplay about being New York's finest and taking on New York's climate, and the bar is so high you need Obama's Air Force One to find it. It's great. It's good. It just feels like at times the message gets a little bit lost in the pen game, but the skills that are on display are still dope. I absolutely love the hypnotist bar at the end, may be my favorite from the track. And after we get another lovely hook, we have verse 3, and the 3 is for Big 3, because listen to how it ends.
You aim too low, then you aim too low. I ain't serve no pies, I ain't slang no dope, I don't bring no lies. Niggas sang my quotes, I don't play no games. Boy, I ain't no joke, like the great Rakim. When I make my notes, you niggas might be L, or you might be Kane, or you might be Slick Rick with 19 chains, or you might be Drizzy Drake or Kendrick Lamar. But check the birth date, nigga, you ain't the guy. Nah, you ain't the guy. Nigga, the COVID guy. January 28th.
I personally absolutely love this track. Another outstanding instrumental, great wordplay and delivery, no crazy flows, but some very provocative bars. especially in the second verse. I also just remembered that like I can hear like a baby crying in the background towards the end of the track, signifying, you know, J. Cole's birth. I don't think that's actually baby Cole, but somebody let me know. This track ends with J. Cole calling out Kendrick Lamar and Drizzy Drake by name, which is pretty funny because we're from the future. But this supports the claim that I and many others have had for the past decade. It was always those three at the top of at least their generation of rappers. While I personally don't like anyone referring to themselves as God, especially when their hook is talking about believing in God, like, what is this, Yeezus? Was the hook about you? He's probably just comparing himself to Rakim, who is known as the God MC and also shares the same birthday as J. Cole. But all in all, I'm feeling another light to decent 9 on this track.
9.
I think that there is a good mix of flexing the pen and attempting to say something meaningful, and we're judging this as if it's, you know, as if the later albums don't exist yet. This is a track that starts the album really strong, and I can't see anyone ever skipping it for any reason. I find it to be a very, very enjoyable listen. And before we listen to the next track, Wet Dreams, a quick word from my editor.
Hi, how are you?
Episodes like this not only may not be monetized, but also have been removed in the past. So if you want to support the show, get early access to the episodes, and get shoutouts at the end of the pods, hit the link in the description or pin comment. Also,
Like the video.
all right, this is J. Cole taking us back to the high school days with Wet Dreams.
As I do so well. Wasn't nothing like that. Man, it wasn't nothing like that first time. She was in my math class. Long hair, brown skin with the fat ass. Sat beside me, used to laugh, had mad jokes. The teacher always got mad, so we passed notes. It started off so innocent. She had a vibe and a nigga started digging it. I was a young and straight crushing, trying to play this shit cool. But a nigga couldn't wait to get to school.
High school. As someone who was a senior in high school when this came out, this was such a cool track to listen to. A rapper that I enjoyed telling his story about crushing on a girl in math class. She got a big booty. He trying to catch some cooties. Like, I'm here for it. I went through a period of time where I was like, you know what? Actually, this song is corny. But I was a young, dumb, stupid baby in my early 20s. And now that I'm almost 30, I'm like, you know, here's the context. The album title is literally the childhood home address. Like, he's sitting on the house on the album. Part of his tour is literally called Hometown. What do I look like not letting him tell hometown stories and just calling him cringe? Let's hear him out, you know, as long as it's not too weird, as long as it's not too freaked out.
Couldn't wait to get to school. Cause when I seen them thighs on her, and them hips on her, and them lips on her, got me daydreaming, man, what? I'm thinking how she rides on it, if she sits on it, if she licks on it, make it hard for me to stand up.
All right now.
Settle down.
As time goes by, a tracks is getting deeper. Wet dreaming, thinking that I'm smashing, but I'm sleeping. I want it bad, and I ain't never been obsessed before. She wrote a note that said, you ever had sex before? Damn, and I ain't never did this before, no. 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 And I ain't never did this before, no.
So J. Cole is just telling the tale. The flow isn't exceptional, but the story is pretty captivating, especially with the hook. He's crushing hard, he's pitching a tent instead of solving for why, he's smashing in his sleep like Hulk off the NyQuil. And crazy enough, this obsession may actually be rewarded. He gets a note asking for his resume, and the chorus tells us that he's never done this before. No. Let's hear how our story continues in verse 2. The hook is fine, by the way, acceptable, but not my favorite. It sounds like it was his first draft.
And I ain't never did this before, no. And I ain't never did this I wrote back and said, of course I had sex before, knowing I was frontin'. I said I'm like a pro, baby, knowing I was stuntin'. But if I told the truth, I knew that I'd get played out, son. Hadn't been in pussy since the day I came out one, but yeah.
I just feel like there's a better way that we could have gotten that point across. Like, we get it. You've never done it before. How about never been inside a woman, only ever out one? Ooh, that was first try. Like, I feel like that would have come across better. I just feel like it wasn't necessary to, you know, just be like, I came out my mom's last time I was in some, it was my mom. Like, maybe it's me. Maybe I just gave it a little bit too much thought. Maybe that's my bad. Or we could be a better writer. Cole fans might say, well, you have to understand he's speaking from the perspective of a high schooler. Maybe that's how he was talking then, but it's like, would you say that if you were in high school? I guess the only person this really matters to is J. Cole's mom. How does she feel about it? Okay, I'm overthinking it. Let's continue. J. Cole's fronting and stunting, telling this girl he's a pro at the whole body and body thing, but he's actually a fraud. Let's see what happens next.
I came out one, but she don't know that, so she done wrote back and told me, oh, you a pro, homie? Well, I want you to show me. My mama gone for the weekend, so Saturday, baby, we can get the freakin'. That's when my heart start racing and my body starts sweating, baby, you done woke my little man up. I'm thinking how that body look naked when you laying on the bed. Teacher, please don't make me stand up. I wrote back like, yeah, baby, sound like a plan. Still trying to play it cool, sound like the man, but I was scared to death, my nigga, my stomach turned. Talking shit knowing damn well I was a virgin. Fuck.
Unless you weren't informed earlier in the verse when he said he hadn't been in anything since the day he came out one, or you weren't paying attention when the chorus said, I never did this before, I never did this before, I never did this before. What? J. Cole would like to once again reiterate that he is in fact a virgin. We know, Cole, we know.
Damn, not anymore.
The storytelling is still good. It's pretty on the nose stuff, and he's invited over on a Saturday to show his stuff. This third verse tells us how this story ends. In triumph, or is it tragedy?
Yeah, you know that feeling when you know you finna bone for the first time. I'm hoping that she won't notice it's my first time. I'm hoping that my shit is big enough to fuck with. And most of all, I'm praying God don't let me bust quick. I'm watching pornos trying to see just how to stroke right. Practice putting condoms on, how it go right. I'm in a crib now, nigga, palm sweating. With a pocket full of rubbers and an erection. That's when my hands start touching and her face start blushing. And the nigga roll over on top. And then she get my pants unbuckled and her hands start rubbing on me. Ooh, girl, don't stop. It's time for action. Pull out the condoms real smooth, yeah, just how I practice. But right before I put it in, she flinched and grabbed it and said, I wanna get something off my mental. I can tell you a pro, but baby, be gentle, cause I ain't ever did this before, no. And I ain't ever did this before, no.
I think this third verse is the best at capturing the feeling of being a young guy experiencing severe anxiety going into their first round of surf and turf. The self-doubt, the research, the prayer for endurance, all of it is very, very understandable. Cole being inexperienced is the first major plot point. The twist being she's a Virgo too actually rocked me on my first listen, I'm not gonna lie. As a young teenager, when I heard this, I was like, what? She's never done it either. And what's really cool is, when you think about it, it's implied earlier in the track when she says, oh, you're a pro, homie, well, I want you to show me. I never caught that literally until today. She's already admitting, in a way, oh, you're claiming you're a professional. I actually need somebody that knows what they're doing because I don't. Cole, as the narrator, builds up the idea that he has this thing that he needs to prove. All the pressure is on him. It's his mountain to climb, but he doesn't consider the fact that she also may be an inexperienced young lady herself. He never even thought to ask, are you a pro? Like, what's your count?
6, 7.
With this in mind, this song is a very light 9 to me.
9.
The hook would be lame if it didn't work in favor of the twist at the end. Also, the repetitiveness of it could be intentional because of the actual fear leading up to the event, just repeating over and over and over again in your head as the time approaches. I never did this before. I never did this before. It's actually valid. While a few bars are a little sus to me, there's nothing so offensive that I can't rate it highly, and I think that it actually ages pretty well. Let me know what you all think about this track, though, as well as the intro track and January 28th. I think they're all excellent tracks. I think they're a great way to start the album. Not perfect, but impressive all in their own way. Please remember to
Like the video.
Thank you.
especially if you're on YouTube.
Hype the video.
Shout out to all my patrons for making a show like this possible.
Zamina, Micah, Mirror, Sunarez, Ben, Thomas, Paradise, Martin, Dylan, Megan, Blue Eyes Warrior, and Danielle.
Use the link in the description or a pinned comment to join the Patreon, get the episodes early, get a shout out in the next few episodes. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, and enjoy the outro.
It's more Cole.
Woke up this morning and wonder, hey, shit, I get fresh as shit. I keep it humble. My closet like Dover Street used to be bumming. Some days I'm still bumming. The difference is now it's by choice. Got just to peek out the window. These little niggas different. They don't play Nintendo. They play with extendos. I hope you can limbo. That chopper gon' spin you around like a judge on a voice. I'm from a city where most niggas never get lucky enough to see something outside county limits. I ran up the ditches. I don't have no motherfucking business. Complain about nothing. Ain't got no time and no patience for lists they be making or who they debating is better. Let's face it, he one of the greatest. No Bill Cosby shit, but if niggas is sleeping, then fuck 'em. Most niggas don't understand me. I don't do the Grammys. I be in my jammies on sofa.